Hey everyone, this is Sean Powell, and this is going to be for Exitus Elite, just to show you that real quick. That's it right here, Exitus Elite. I have been in for 12 days. Matter of fact, it has been an awesome 12 days. I think it has. I've been really impressed with every aspect of this, to be honest. I'm not going to talk about the business today specifically. I'm going to talk about something else, getting your mind right to do online business. I've done a lot of YouTube videos already for different businesses, that I have done over the last year and a half or so. And what I've learned is almost everything is the same answers. It's going to be find a business you believe in, committing to it, and not quitting. No, you're not going to quit. That's just a given. Know that you got to get out to the people. You got to put the work in. And in my opinion, I think it's a really good way for me. It definitely worked for me. It gave me the way to learn how to do everything. It was pretty simple, to be honest. Was to focus it one way, only one way, and just go master that one way. And understand that when you say, I'm going to master this and get good at it, quitting's not an option. Failure, to me, is when you quit and there's nothing else. Screwing up and learning is nothing compared to, to me, that's part of learning. You can't make it if you don't mess up. And as somebody might have heard me recently say that, in my opinion, if you're not messing up, then you probably ain't growing fast enough, or you ain't pushing your limits. I think screwing up is going to point you in this direction, and and then you say, well, that's the wrong way. I need to go this way. And you start pointing in the right direction. I messed up. Okay. I think it's a way of fine-tuning going in the right direction. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, Facebook, YouTube, solo ads, however way you want to get out to people. Even Craigslist is as an option, as a possibility. I think it's going to be the one that you're most comfortable with. Very first thing I did when I came in online business, and this was, let me turn this off here. I apologize. And this is coming from a viewpoint, in my opinion, of a guy who collected arcade games. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually, hold on here. Yes, I actually used to collect arcade games and came from Craigslist, and I'd have a Miss Pac-Man machine. I got a Raiden machine. I got 13 full-size arcade games in my house. I took a walk-in closet, a 4,300 square foot old two-story old Victorian house, and I took one of the rooms upstairs we didn't ever use, and had taken the walk-in closet and cut it and made it look to like a countertop bar. And I have Pac-Man up there and the Ghost and everything painted. And I did it myself. I did that last year while I was free from a job. And I didn't have a lot of money to be splurging, but I was happy, and that's what I wanted to do. And a project like that, y'all, right by itself could have took weeks, to be done, to be honest, to what I did. When I was working in the restaurant, it might take a month, just to do what I did in that one time, from 65 hours a week, and your family, and everything it puts projects like that takes forever. And that's just something I really enjoyed doing. And I think I had a total of maybe $20 in the whole project. I'll have to post some pictures up here before too long. But in my opinion, y'all, finding one way and staying focused is going to be the way to do it. What I learned in Facebook is the fact that you have to learn how people think in Facebook. You have to learn that you're going to get seen. You know that you're going to get seen, but the problem is, do you stand out? And in my opinion, how do you stand out in a good way? That means, to me, is going to be telling people what you believe in. To me, it's sincerity. It's like what I said on the webinar last night with Frank Calabra. The whole thing to me is, people think that they're supposed to change who they are just because of a business. Would you do that in the real world? If I go in a restaurant and you had to turn into restaurant man, it'd probably scare me. To be honest, I wouldn't know what to think. I want the most, respectful, normal person to greet me at the door, if that's possible. I think that that'd probably be pretty impressive. But I don't really see nothing else that's necessary. You don't have to. The changing you got to do, y'all, is to learn to think right. I think it's really going to have to be about putting the effort in. Um, and I have really slacked off a lot compared to a year and a half ago. And if we had a leaderboard right now, oh man, I'd be hanging on at the bottom right now compared to the work and efforts I used to put in when I was at the top. And I loved a leaderboard. It's something else. I think a leaderboard helped me. It really did it. It pushed me. It was a goal setting thing every day. So I did love leaderboards. I kind of wish we had one in this one, but that's fine. That's what my refrigerator's for. I set goals up there and go at it. But yeah, what I was referring to in Facebook, y'all, is the fact that, excuse me, you have to learn to stand out. And you've got to learn how to get out to the people. And the people you're getting out to are not always going to be the people you know. It's not always going to be people who are in your business because they're already in the business. Okay? Now, I think it's good to be social with people, but understand that you didn't join us to be in a social club. And to be honest, you might have started this for the money, but you realize shortly after there's a lot more to it than that. There really is. All the people that I've met and know, a lot of these people have been around for 6 months, or longer. And Alberto Santiago, I got Michelle. I've got a lot of people that I see every day, and and even though I've never personally met them, it does sort of feel like family. Actually, that's what Facebook does. You always connects you with people who you don't normally see. A lot of times that's people who are in high school and stuff, maybe college, if you went to college, whatever it was. In my opinion, I kind of feel that way now. And if somebody was to pop into a Facebook group now and needed help, man, I'm not their sponsor, but I know who they are, and I've seen them around for a year. I just assume help them as anybody. Give them everything. Excuse me, I'm playing with cards in my hand. I dropped them. But yeah, give them anything you got that can help them. And it's not because you're trying to get anything from it. It's because it's the right thing to do. If I came up at a time, and there's one person in particular kind of comes to mind. Her name is Miss Jennifer. And, when I first started online business, I was the type that I put the action in and figured out what to do after I started going. It's like lining something up, throwing it on the floor and seeing where it goes, and I was putting action in. But when I think Tim Chisanis had told me that I need to focus at one thing, that clicked. It really did. And I took it to heart. And I think that's when everything changed. I went from 10 leads a day to 36, I think, overnight, just by learning that I needed to focus my attention in the right areas, which is going to be people who are not in the business. And then I took it on my own to say, okay, y'all, I'm not here for a social club. I'm going to put the work in. I got to put the work in. If I'm not going to go to work, at a workplace, then I better discipline myself to get to where I can get out to the people. And that's what I did. And that changed my life. Yeah, that's exactly how I got free from a job. It really is. It was discipline myself, and going while I didn't know the answers, and it didn't matter. I'm sorry, y'all, but if you're in the real world, you wouldn't start a business and just stand there like you did and have to let everybody tell you what to do. That's your business. You got to be a leader in your business. You got to be the biggest cheerleader you got. You got to put the work in. You don't have a business if you're not there and you're putting the work in. But after you do this long enough, y'all, you kind of build a reputation for yourself and sort of start branding yourself. Or I really think branding yourself is the answer. And when you do that, y'all, it becomes easy. If right now, if for whatever reason Facebook was gone and every person I know, and they had something to start, a new way to communicate with people, and I had to go get brand new people, I could put the work in and do it, but I guess I'm trying to say when you do something long enough and people hear who you are, and then you keep getting out there and getting in the right groups around the right kind of people, you have this certain vibe about you. And when you're just being sincere the whole time, that's what it's about to me. I think just telling people what you think, lifting people up if it's something that you can lift somebody up with. And before long, y'all, you know, when everybody thinks they want to make $10,000 a month or whatever it is, I understand that, y'all. It'd be, in some people's minds, they can't even fathom what that would feel like, you know. But to be honest, when you get there, it doesn't really matter. You know, in my case, $2,000 a month pays every bill I've got and spending money. You know, I was really smart as a kid. I was younger to make sure I didn't get in debt. And, you know, even my old 4,300 square foot house, this big old Victorian, I love it to death. My house payment's $275. You know, I did good. I made some good decisions in the past. Okay, now, as far as when it comes to YouTube, I said this in the webinar last night. It's backwards, okay? What it means is you are going to stand out to get seen. And the way you do that, again, in my opinion, is just being sincere. Y'all, you know, if you can tell it's just a good, sincere person, I don't care what color you are, if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you're old, if you're whatever you think you are, whatever hang up you have, you gotta let it go. You know, people don't care. I'm gonna tell you something now, and I've said this before a long time ago, and a lot of people don't know this. I'm entirely blind on my right eye, right? And I've been like that since I was about 16 years old, but it never slowed me down, never. I've got veins that are inside of my eye that aren't supposed to be there, and trying to take it out would do more damage than good, and I lost my eyesight entirely. Now, when I was about 16, 17 years old, nobody could tell it. I made some bad decisions with doctors, I guess. They kept playing around with me, and I was in pain, and it wound up, it actually fixated my pupil. My pressure in my eye would go ridiculous. I was in severe pain, and I had to go to Duke University and finally got squared away. But by that time, it had already reached enough heights in pressure that the damage was done. So even though I couldn't see it, now you could look at me and tell it. And that's kind of tough as a kid, you know, to be 16 years old and look normal, and then all of a sudden, by the time I'm 20, people could detect that I was blind on my right eye, you know. And I think that could have been my excuse if I was looking one. You know, I don't think I was fat. I don't think I was ugly. I don't think I was anything like that. I think my eye would have been the only real factor for me. But y'all, you know, when I first started online business, my sponsor, the only thing he told me to do was make 50 YouTube videos, right? What did I do? I made 130 in a month and a half. And I was killing it. You know, this is why I work in a job. And you know what I realized is, y'all, I had a burn in my stomach that I knew I had to get out. And I didn't know how to do anything yet. I didn't know, the only thing I knew is somebody needed to see me. And there was no SEO. There was no anything like that on my YouTubes. All I did was sit down in front of the camera, told people what I found, how I felt about it, and then I showed them the way in. That's all I did. And to be honest, to this day, I can go back now, and I'm proud of me. I'm proud of the guy I saw there, because I've learned a lot, obviously, since then, an awful lot. But at the same time, 90% of what I needed to make it was happening in those videos. And I'm glad I figured that out. And, you know, I didn't let my eye, being blind in my right eye, keep me from changing my little boy's life and my life. And I think that is the problem that some of y'all are going to have, you know, in the YouTube world particularly. And some of you, when you get fed up with it in the world of Facebook, then you'll figure it out. Sometimes it takes hitting your head on the roadblock for a little while. Got to hit your head before you can figure it out. And once you realize that the answer for both is sincerity. You know, to me, sincerity in Facebook works because it's supposed to. Sincerity in YouTube works because it's supposed to. Even though Facebook is actually backwards, it's about getting seen, it's about standing out. You know, you're already going to get seen. In the world of YouTube, it's about standing out because you need to get seen, and you're not going to get seen unless you stand out. That's how, you know, that's basically how it happens. So, but anyhow, I just want to give you my thoughts. I didn't make this video really long, didn't mean to. I enjoyed the webinar yesterday. That's the first webinar I've done. I hope we wind up doing some more in the future. I think it would be great for Frank Calabro, my cat's going crazy, you know, to have one for us maybe every week, and I would definitely be up there and enjoy it. I might have my little boy up there. He was actually asleep during that time. If you want to sleep, I probably would have put him up here. But yeah, I'm just going to tell you, if there's anything that you got from this video, y'all, it's the fact that just get out there when you don't know the answers. Apply action. It don't matter. I don't care. And be true to yourself, y'all. What is applying action? What is applying action? Is when it's all said and done, what have you done today that people who are not in your business has seen you do? That's aware from you, aware about you. To me, that's what laying the hammer down was. It's getting in the trenches and learning how to make it, To me, the word trenches always fit that. It always felt comfortable with me in the world of Facebook. And, after a while, early on actually, I've seen a couple of people who really knew what they were doing in the world of Facebook. They were the same ones. They were there before I got there. They had their act together from day one when I was in, And I give them respect. I give a lot of respect to a couple of these people. A guy named Phil in particular. Phil lives in Florida, and he's a sharp guy. And, I learned by watching them. You don't have to be in the same business, y'all. You do not have to be in the same business to learn while you're out there in the trenches. So take that into consideration. If you see something that impresses you, implement it. Change it to make it work for you, but implement it. And y'all, when you're working, when you don't know the answer, all the questions you have, the answers come to you. And when they do, the magic part of this is it sticks. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it sticks. That answer sticks. So anyhow, I'm going to end this, y'all. I just want to show you. This is $30,000 in 12 days. That's not too bad. I don't know what the month's going to wind up being. I have no clue. But let me log into PayPal. I'll show you something here real quick. Alrighty. And I'll probably have to type it in again. I don't know why it does that. It's the weirdest thing. Adam 28341. Oh, here's something else to y'all. If you scroll up in the video, don't change it. Seriously, you know what? I've learned to just let it go. Just let it go. And the reason why, because people need to know that you're human. If everything looks squeaky clean, you know what I'm saying? That's more a guru'd up kind of atmosphere feel. It's just not necessary, in my opinion. Okay, so this is 11th here, $1,931 to the bank. This is one of the people coming in, $1,000, $1,000 a day, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, and let's see, 1,000 here and 1,000 here. And of course, I got some money pending right here. If you don't know, y'all, there's nothing wrong with that. What happens is PayPal, after you reach a certain amount of money and you're doing a product through goods and services, what they're going to do is they're going to kind of cherry pick and make sure that the people are happy, right? How do they do that? By maybe holding it for 21 days. Not all of them, y'all. Not all of them. If you notice this, I've got some that's sitting right here on the 12th. Now those are completed. Those are mine. But if you notice here on the 11th and and this one here, they may be sitting there holding. But what it is they're taking a portion of it, just a small portion, and to make sure that they're not giving out money for a service that's going to be bad. Okay? So do not think you've done anything wrong. Do not think PayPal's done anything wrong. What they're actually doing, y'all, is checking to see what they're letting people come into you to pay for is a business that's going to make the customers happy. So it leaves their account. It's absolutely left it, but it hasn't come to yours yet, so it's sitting here. And that 21 days is a little bit of a grace period to see, is this person going to say, hey, you know what, this is wrong, I want my money back. See what I'm saying? So don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And y'all, with that, I'm done. Sorry this video's been long. I'm telling y'all, the answer is just open your mouth and tell people what you think. And one day, hopefully, the very first video I saw from Chuck Bollé and got me going down the rabbit hole. If you hadn't taken that action and done it, y'all, I wouldn't be here. I would never have even thought, because between this and Traffic Monsoon, y'all, I'm at almost $40,000 in 30 days. and that's with a nice little gap for what, a week and a half, whatever it's been between, the traffic monsoon thing. And I made more money in this too. I got money in Payza, but this is where just want to talk about that also. So y'all, the money's out there. Don't think about the money all the time. Get out to the people, tell them what you think. Help your people, man. And I don't care what you think, even if they're going to be on. I got a downline. He mentioned something today. Mr. Glenn is like, in due time we're going to be competition against each other in YouTube. And I'm like, to be honest, dude, I want you to make it. I think there's enough people in the world. The second largest search engine. I want you to bypass me. I want you to go get everything you can. And, I would be very happy knowing that I was the one that got you there, to be honest. And that's how I look at it. So I'm going to end this video, y'all. Look, if you're not in Exitus Elite, that's a given. Go ahead and get that done, y'all. This is a beast of a business, Show you, here's my advertisements I made today. So that's pretty cool. I might do a video showing people how to do some simple stuff like that, It's not hard at all, but anyhow, it looks pretty good. So, y'all, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and put some likes down there. Anything to help me go up the rank a little better. I'm in 3rd right now on Exitus Elite, so it'd be nice to see me get ranked up a little higher. And go ahead and sign up in Exitus Elite and contact me. My phone number's down below. I talk to people every day, and I'd be tickled to help you out. Appreciate it.